seize the chance you can do something amazing to feel your passion blazing and shine.
Paint with every vision, dance in new directions, explode to new heights in your mind.
I will rise up with you today.
Lift up my voice
and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to AGNT Speaks. I am your host, Reverend Erin McCabe. I serve as part of our AGNT Leadership Council, and I host this broadcast each week with our council members. So everyone that is a leadership individual in AGNT comes to you with a mindful message each week, a conscious conversation. So thank you for being here. If you're joining us for the first time, a reminder that you can hop into the Zoom room. In the Zoom room, you get a chance after the broadcast to get up close and personal, to bring your thoughts, bring your ideas, bring your questions, ask for prayer, whatever it is, we get a chance to connect behind the scenes. So if you don't know how to do that yet, just take a look at the event post or go to agnt.today and you can find more information and hop into this Zoom room with us. It is a gift to be able to gather together, to have conscious conversations. So if you appreciate this experience, you can spread the word in a few ways. You can text friends to let them know that they can join you. You can repost these conversations from the Facebook page, and you can also host a watch party. So if you click on host a watch party, that'll allow you to stream this broadcast to your Facebook page as well. So thank you for joining us today. We are here to have a conversation, a conscious conversation with Reverend Dr. Temple Hayes, who comes to us from First Unity Spiritual Campus in Tampa, Florida, and
St. Petersburg, Florida.
St. Petersburg.
Thank you.
That's so funny. Spiritual leader at First Unity Spiritual Campus in St. Petersburg. I always get them, they're right next to each other, but St. Petersburg. And at that spiritual campus, you can take online classes. They have a plethora of online classes, conscious conversations going on. She is an incredible leader, and she is spreading the light and spreading the message down in Florida. So Temple, it is always a delight to have you with us. So I am always just so grateful on the days that I get to say hi, Temple. So let's have a conscious conversation today.
Yeah, let's have a conscious conversation today. And you know, we also have an online institute called illy.org. And so I don't know if you're aware of it, but we're in 45 countries now. So we're not just St. Petersburg. So, you know, this has been this kind of time that with COVID and changes, you know, we can spend our lives resisting the change or wondering, is it a conspiracy or what's really going on or who's telling the real story? We can get all caught up in that, or we can tune in to what do we love about our lives? What do we love about the work that we're doing? What do we love about whatever? And be immersed in that. And I love
right.
that our topic today with the Season for Nonviolence is about love. I think that love is the kind of thing that, you know, when people come or they listen to lectures or talks about, well, all you got to do is love yourself. You know, people have the tendency to say, well, that's so simple, isn't it? I mean, gosh, I thought I was going to hear something that I haven't heard before. And the real truth of the matter is to really dig deeper in what does loving oneself really mean? Because self-love leads to acceptance. Acceptance leads to inclusion. Inclusion leads to a broad look at the world. And it is so easy to be nonviolent when you are in that place of acceptance within your own being, because otherwise you just project your divided self onto everything or the traffic or, you know, whatever's going on in your life. But when you think highly of yourself and you have quality self-esteem, you really think long and hard about getting involved in any kind of drama.
That is true.
Right?
Yes, it becomes less attractive if it's not in line with love. I was just reading an article about the senator whose son lifted off at the end of this year. And he was in the article, it was sharing about this son's life and a short life. I believe he was in his 20s, but it was sharing about his love for the animals, love for nature, and how he became a vegetarian, and then the whole family became vegetarians, and just his love for all sentient life. And it said something in the article about when people would bring up gossip, like if it was happy gossip and fun gossip, then he would enjoy that. But if it was hurtful, if it was critical, he would say something like, it's hard being human, and kind of step out or leave the room or whatever it is. But the compassion that he had for this human condition and the human journey, that love for others, and that love for life, that love for the animal creation, was just so big in his life, that he stood by it, and he stood in that love.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And when, when we allow other people to come into our heart space, it's our responsibility to teach them how we want to be treated. We didn't have a course that we take this course. We give people permission and how to treat us. And the other extreme is, oh, everybody just gets to be who they are and express who they are and do kumbaya and all that. And that's it has some richness within it. But the other part is, especially in relationship, especially in marriages, I'm in one, you've been in one, that we learn a lot too from the friction. And we owe
Yes.
it to each other for the level, as Dr. Holmes said, one of the biggest things that we have about human beings, and I'm paraphrasing, is the inability to be honest. And when it comes to people that are up close in your tribe and up close in your circle, you owe it to them to tell them the truth about your ideas about love or lack of, or need to fully express more. You owe them that. And no, it's not everybody just gets to be who they are, because if we don't talk about the richness about where we need to grow together, we've done a disservice to both of us, or to all of us, or whatever that looks like. So I find love to be immensely exciting. And part of the reason that I do is, I was such an alcoholic for 15 years of my life, from ages 14 to 29. And I still walked around in life thinking the shoe's going to drop any minute. Something's got to be wrong. There's got to be something wrong. So somebody's mad, somebody's upset. So to come to a place of practicing these principles and what we all stand for in AGNT, for us to evolve to a place of this season that's not just one time a year. We honor it one time a year, but it's every day. How to be in the season of life and really love our mission and our values enough that we don't feed the smaller vibrations of the world. Right. I think is very powerful. My new thing in my daily practice is, when I awake, I go, oh my gosh, God, how exciting. I get to be you today. What's that going to be? That's love to me, is realizing that it's so much bigger than what we know.
That's beautiful. Like, how can I serve, and how can I serve love today?
Yeah.
I like how you're
you today. What is that?
I like how you're taking a word that could be interpreted as huge or could be seen as superficial, and you're just deepening it and allowing it to expand for us, and inviting people into a practice with that word, and kind of unfolding it and uncovering. Like you said, we're all in relationships, and those relationships take different forms, and some are marriage, some are other types of relationships. But love isn't always so upfront. A lot of times people think the loving thing to do is this, without understanding that you can't love someone else without loving yourself. So when you're talking about those boundaries, and when you're talking about making a space where someone can totally be themselves, it's important to look at that when we're in relationships. And if someone is completely themselves and you are not feeling loved or getting your needs met, or like you said, healthy boundaries or whatever it is, having conscious conversations, then sometimes we need to look at that. I did a process of looking at that and realizing that I was kind of betraying my boundaries and just my light in a way that made me awaken to the possibility of rearranging the relationship so that the fullness of love could be experienced. And for me, that meant getting out of marriage and back into friendship only, because that really was the most loving choice. And I recognized that when my kind of boundaries were crossed, I was getting more and more angry, or more and more depressed, more and more upset, trying to hold someone else accountable for showing up in a way that to me meant this relationship is okay, or healthy, or what I want. And I realized I was getting angry because I wasn't standing for what love was to me and what I needed in that way. And so I really, at a deep level, got love can always be held and celebrated and honored. But part of our process with harmonizing, which is the other definition, kind of the new thought definition of love, the harmonizing faculty, is really taking an inventory and looking to see if the love needs to shapeshift and change forms at all, and that's okay. And I know some people are going through that with friendships right now, with family members, with relationships. And trust the process. Trust that there is a way to hold the integrity of love, and to have that in your relationship, even when the form may shift and the form may change.
You know, and to me, and in the years of life, that with so many people, it still goes back to undone stuff with how they perceive their parents didn't do the best job. And they continue to recreate stories and situations, whether it's traffic or a pastor or a doctor or a friend or a lover. They continue to regurgitate these stories over and over again so they can live that. I mean, my saying here is, if you are 30 years old, you no longer get to blame your parents. And to me, that's my measure. You know, anytime I'm talking about a person, I'm already off the mark. If I'm talking about, you know, John and what he did, I can't believe John did what he did. That's not the story. The stop point for me in a nonviolent way needs to be, why am I talking about John? You know, if John's not here and I can't talk directly with John, then what is the situation and why am I giving my attentiveness to this? You know, why did this get my attention? Why did I get involved and engaged in this? That's what so many people do now on the collective, is life is like, God, it's like the best day ever. Oh my gosh, I just feel so great. And this, you know, this vegetarian thing is working and I'm so happy and I'm so joyful. What did they say on CNN? What did they say on news? Oh, now the breaking news is going to break me. No, with love, it's you're the gatekeeper. And it's the awareness of what you're letting come into your mind gate and allowing to exit your heart gate, you know, because your heart is an exit valve. It's a giving out valve. It's not an intake one in shamanism, you know, and so it's learning the realization of those things. Why did this get my attention? And for what reason? Because it's never about the person or the thing or the disappointment or the rejection. It's about the aspect of me that perceives it that way. And why is that necessary? I mean, I love that, you know, in Gandhi, they say, be aware of this man. They used to say that because he's not afraid you're not going to like him. He's not concerned of attitude or whatever. He's just about what he's about, you know? So,
yeah, and that's an important reminder that you are the gatekeeper. So when we find ourselves making someone else wrong, giving away our power, talking about what someone else is doing and how that affects our lives, where are we invited to practice attention on myself as the gatekeeper?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're so spot on, dear one.
Thank you, Temple. Thank you for this conscious conversation. Friends, hop into the Zoom room if you'd like to meet us to talk more or to discuss anything specific that's up for you. Yep, hop in. And let's have a clip from one of Temple's talks.
You see, strangers show up
and the most interesting places to show you what you need to know about you, you see, about you. So Jesus asked his disciples, "Who do you say I am?" And Simon Peter answered, "You're the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Jesus replied, "You are blessed, Simon, because my Father in heaven has revealed this to you. You did not learn this from any human being." Do you get that? You see who I am because you listen to spirit within you. And you didn't get that from any human being with human limitations, with human ideas, with human thoughts, with human projection, with human perception. And so it's so important when you are in the midst of anyone that you're asking the Spirit to flow through you to help you in your awareness of seeing the wholeness of another human being, of seeing that they are not broken, of seeing their gifts and their talents. And what you do is you build a template of understanding for them. And the more that you hold that template, the more they become it. The more that you hold that idea, the more that they step into it. Now, there are going to be a few that may resist, maybe so, but you have planted a seed. It may not grow, it may take a long time to grow like a bamboo shooting up, but it is there. You understand? It is there. That's how you see people, is the listening is not about personality. The listening is not the day-to-day. The listening is you ask Spirit, show me the Christ energy in this situation so I may see it. It's a powerful way.
Those are the words from Temple Hayes. So thank you,
Barbara
Reverend Temple.
fascinates me. Barbara Fields
Yeah.
fascinates me that she goes through all of our videos and she finds these things. So she's
That's
amazing.
right. And she doesn't know what we're going to talk about that week either.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those divine appointments where we're all swimming in the same soup of consciousness. So hopefully we were swimming in the same consciousness as you are right now. And we thank you for being here with us for AGNT Speaks. If you want to learn more about AGNT, you can go to agnt.today and you can find out more about our leaders, where each one of us serves in spiritual communities. You can find pretty much for each one of us, you can find spiritual services that will nourish you throughout the week, or you are invited to any of our spiritual communities on a Sunday morning. So we are grateful to be able to be here with you. If you believe in the work of AGNT, consider an annual contribution. That annual contribution is part of your tithing practice or your giving practice, and a whole bunch of resources will be opened up to you as well if you choose to take that step. Thanks everyone for being here with us today. Hello.